Welcome to the world of ornamental grasses. By ornamental grasses, we mean any plant with a grass-like appearance, ranging from the classical grasses to sedges, rushes, perennials, and ground covers. The primary purpose of this tape is to catalog some of the most popular varieties of ornamental grasses at our nursery. This tape may also serve as an educational tool or reference source. The plants will be presented in a general order of size and blooming time. The grass's botanical name, common name, USDA hardiness zone, and best planting season will be displayed along with the pictures of each plant. You will hear a brief plant description which will include its growth habits, seasonal colors, characteristics, and ideas for application. As you will see, the greatest quality of the ornamental grasses is their ability to emit sheer beauty while creating a practical, functional, year-round landscape. Our first plant is called Ornamental Olaceous bulbosum variegatum. Its common name is the bulbous oak grass. This is a cold season grass, which means that it can be planted out in the spring or fall, as opposed to a warm season grass that can only be planted out in the spring. At maturity, this grass reaches a height of 8 to 12 inches tall. Ornamental likes sun or partial shade. It can be used for group or mass planting and is particularly desirable for small clumps in a rock garden or to lighten up the perennial border. Here we see one of the many blue-green beauties from the fescue family, Festuca cinerea Meerblau, commonly referred to as the blue fescue. This cold season grass grows 12 inches tall and has a spread of 15 inches at maturity. Meerblau, meaning ocean blue, is an eye-catching grass because of its beautiful blue-tinted foliage. The old standby Festuca cinerea superba, synonym Festuca avena glauca, a garden favorite for years. This blue fescue is popular in both the south and west, yet is perfectly hardy in a Zone 4 area. Reaching a mature height of 10 inches tall, this grass can be used for mass planting in full sunlight. Pictured here, the Festuca cinerea superba contrasts nicely with the green Festuca tenifolium. Of the many spring-blooming Festucas, the Festuca amethystina superba is very alluring in a spring garden because of its unique and attractive amethyst-colored flower stems. Commonly known as the blue sheep's fescue, amethystina grows about 8 inches tall, likes the sunlight, and is most suitable for edging and massing. Helictotrichon sempervirens, synonym avena, the blue oat grass. This cold season grass grows 2 feet tall and with its inflorescences in the springtime reaches a height of 3 to 4 feet, as is pictured here. This grass is known for its durability. One plant can easily last 2 decades with the smallest amount of fertilization. Here we see another view of the Helictotrichon sempervirens, giving us equal splendor without its blooms. This plant can be used for groups, massing, or as shown here as a specimen plant. Phalaris arundinacea picta, ribbon grass or gardener's garter. Although this grass displays pretty little flowers in springtime, it is grown for its white, variegated foliage. It is ideally used as a canvassing ground cover in order to highlight contrasting colored plants. This ribbon grass grows extremely well in full sunlight and partial shade. When not highlighting plants in an ornamental bed, Phalaris arundinacea picta has its place on dry slopes or in semi-shaded areas. It reaches a mature height of 18 to 24 inches and can reach 48 inches with its flower in full bloom. Ceslaria autumnalis, commonly known as autumn wargrass. This cold season grass gets its name autumnalis from its capacity to show silvered-colored blooms in early autumn. Being almost an evergreen, only the coldest winter will strip this plant of its entire foliage, and early in spring, this grass shows an attractive chartreuse-colored foliage. It reaches a mature height of 1 foot and is usable for groups or mass planting. Native to the USA, Europe, and Asia, Deschampsia cespitosa, the tufted hair grass, is elegant with its dark green tufts and weedy inflorescence. At maturity, the foliage forms a 2-foot wide base for the flowers, which grow 3 to 4 feet above it, giving a total mature plant height of about 6 feet. This plant is extremely durable, with almost evergreen characteristics, holding its color during a mild winter. This cold season grass prefers a moist location. One of the many grasses that can be used for cut flowers and drying are the Britza media, commonly known as the quaking grass. This spring bloomer attains a height of 2 to 3 feet and is a cold season grass. Britza media, with its eye-catching inflorescence, can also be used as a border perennial. Alipicurus potensis aureus, the yellow foxtail grass. This is the golden variegated form of the common foxtail grass. With its rich golden highlights, this plant contrasts beautifully with green foliage and is perfect for lightening dark corners of the garden. In addition to its variegated foliage, Alipicurus potensis aureus has an interesting inflorescence as pictured here. This cold season grass reaches a mature height of 1 foot and is good for groups and massing. Pictured here is the rare Melica ciliata, common name hairy melic or silky spike. This warm season grass produces feathery cones early in the springtime, yet its seed pods are durable way into the summer. At maturity, this plant ranges from 1 to 2 feet tall and is suitable for small beds or rock gardens. Melica ciliata is particularly ravishing against the setting sun. Shown here in a gravel bed is the distinctive utility grass Elymus glaucus, commonly known as the blue wild rye. This cold season grass is 2 to 3 feet tall at maturity. It is slightly invasive, but when planted strategically is an excellent choice for problem areas, providing dune and sandy area stabilization. It is also resistant to salt spray, likes hot and dry sun, and is seen in groups or mass planting. Next we have another native grass to the seashores, Bouteloua gracilis, known as the mosquito grass because of its mosquito-like flowers. Growing 1 to 2 feet tall, this plant endures dry conditions extremely well. This warm season grass is used for a specimen plant as seen in the forefront of this picture, for groups or for rock garden planting. Behold this gem of the ornamental grass world, Haconocloa macra aureola, the golden variegated Haconocloa. This warm season grass appears to be lightly stroked by a pink-tinted paintbrush in the early spring. Growing 1 to 2 feet tall, it forms dense mats of layered foliage, reminding you of a dwarf bamboo. Not pictured here is a green form of this plant, which has equal aesthetic quality. Ah, what a sight! The golden variegated Haconocloa in combination with Imperata cylindrica rubra red baron, an enchanting summer composition. Here we see the Imperata cylindrica rubra red baron up close. It is commonly called the Japanese bloodgrass and is an exciting new addition to the ornamental grass world. Attaining a height of 18 inches tall, this plant can be used in sun or part shade and is best seen in mass effect or groups. The particular beauty of the red baron lays in the intense red fall color of its foliage, which appears in early summer and lasts until late fall. Even the early frost will not diminish the strength of this color. When backlit by the setting sun, the Imperata is truly provocative. In this plant scene, we see the striking plumy pink mayflowers on the Calamagrostis acutiflora Carl Forster, known as the feathery reed grass. This cold season plant grows 5 to 7 feet tall. These pink flowers emerge in spring, but by late summer, this chameleon of a grass has transformed, giving us the appearance of strawberry patches in May to Kansas wheat fields in late summer and early fall. The Carl Forster is a unique plant. Bestowed with not only intrigue, but durability, not even the heavy snows of winter can break this grass down to the ground. One of the most popular grasses of the ornamental series, because of its lasting summer blooms and easy maintenance, is the Pennisetum family. We will show you the diversity of these warm season grasses, commonly referred to as fountain grasses. Here we see Pennisetum alipicuroides, Growing 3 to 4 feet tall, this plant likes the sun and is seen in groups, massing, or as a specimen plant. Pictured here along the roadside, the fountain grass displays its brownish-black foxtails in the late summer. Contrasting to the late summer color, the early spring flowers of the Pennisetum albicuroides are almost white. A smaller variety of the previous grass, the Pennisetum albicuroides Hamlin, is known as the dwarf fountain grass. Attaining a mature height of 1 to 2 feet tall, Hamlin is most suitable for smaller gardens and home planting. Blooming 2 weeks earlier than the type, this grass can be used near water, in groupings, or massings. Looking like the late summer blooms of the already seen type plant, the Pennisetum albicuroides forma viridescens. The brown to black foxtails do not appear on this plant until late October and November. This valuable late bloomer has a handsome green foliage to complement its overall color scheme. Attaining a height of 2 to 3 feet, forma viridescens is perfect for an autumn garden, in groups, massing, or as a specimen plant. The white-flowering fountain grass, Pennisetum caudatum. The unusual snow-white flowers of this plant mature with the season into decorative and durable seed heads, which will last until late fall. Attaining a height of 2 to 3 feet, the seed heads are not easily dropped by rain or ice storms. The last featured plant of this Pennisetum series is the Pennisetum incomptum, synonym Pennisetum flaccidum. This grass is known for its very strong growing, slightly invasive capabilities. It is a positively invasive plant because it is superb for poor corners or tackling difficult slopes, even in the driest conditions. This ground cover will eliminate weeds. Incomptum grows to be 2 to 4 feet tall and should be used for mass planting. From the mass planting to the finer grass displays, Stipa capillata, the feather grass, belongs in a rock garden or an elegant flower bed. This warm season grass is 3 to 4 feet tall at maturity and likes dry conditions. Here we have the larger brother, Stipa gigantea, the giant feather grass. Delicately balancing its inflorescences on a sturdy clump of foliage, this native of the Mediterranean prefers well-drained soil and sunny locations. Growing 4 to 5 feet tall, Stipa gigantea acquires charming straw-colored flowers in the spring. Molinia cerulea, common name purple moorgrass, is a hardy and durable plant for groups and clumping. This warm season grass is slow growing, and one has to be patient and wait several years to attain a 2 to 3 foot plant. However, the Molinia cerulea is definitely worth waiting for. With its inflorescences, the mature plant stands 3 to 4 feet tall in June and lasts way into fall. The taller cousin of this particular variety, Molinia cerulea, is subspecies Arundinacea skyracer. The tall purple moorgrass, having culms up to 8 feet tall, this plant displays a delicate balance. Skyracer can be used in small groups or planted as a specimen. One of Skyracer's unique attributes is the enormous flexibility of its flower stalks. This is due to the nodeless stems of this plant. Unlike the bamboos, these stems are made up of long cells, which give the stalk added flexibility and a silky smoothness. Here we see Chrysopogon nutans, commonly called the goldbeard grass. This native grass of the prairies has beautiful golden culms in summertime, and on particularly sunny days, these golden anthers become quite showy. In wintertime, the goldbeard grass, pictured here in the front right-hand corner, retains its seed heads until late into the season, providing an architectural scene upon snowfall. This is Panicum frugatum Hanse Herms, commonly known as the red switchgrass because of its attractive reddish foliage, which appears in summer and intensifies in color, lasting late into the fall season, attaining a height of 2 to 3 feet at maturity. In moist areas, this plant will grow even taller. With its ruby-tinted foliage against the blue skies, the red switchgrass gives us a very pretty picture. This is the tall switchgrass, botanical name Panicum virgatum strictum. Strictum, meaning narrow and upright, which is exactly how this grass grows. It is a richly blooming plant with an almost bluish foliage growing narrowly upright. This warm season grass is most attractive when used in groups. And here we have simply Panicum virgatum, the switchgrass. We can see its slightly pinkish inflorescence standing out against the blue-green foliage. This plant can attain heights of 7 to 8 feet when grown in excellent conditions. Panicum virgatum is good for seashore planting. A very common grass in the eastern United States is Andropogon scoparius, commonly known as little blue stem or sedge grass. This warm season grass grows 2 to 3 feet tall and has very little demand on the soil conditions, therefore growing well in stressed environments. This sedge grass blooms late in the fall season and maintains its habit throughout wintertime. It is best seen in clumping. From Siberia, we have Spodiopogon sibericus, the Siberian Spodiopogon. The flowers bloom in midsummer and carry themselves beautifully above the foliage. The foliage adds more splendor to the grass, with its leaf structure resembling that of bamboo. It is a very durable plant and attains heights of 4 to 5 feet and is a warm season grass. Usable for groups or as a specimen plant, Spodiopogon sibericus is a most exquisite grass with a fascinating leaf structure. A somewhat invasive but durable and attractive grass from Asia is Themita triandrica japonica, or commonly known as the Japanese Themita. Growing anywhere from 4 to 6 feet tall in our climates, the durability of this grass lies in its drought-resistant qualities. This plant gains its aesthetic merit from the exciting red fall coloration seen in the culms and its heavy seed heads, which give it an almost pendulous habit. From our pine barrens comes Chasmanthium latifolium, synonym uniola, the northern sea oats. This warm season grass grows 3 feet tall and is seen in groups or mass planting. It is characterized by its inflorescence, which are commonly used in flower arrangements, and its broad foliage, which makes it a formidable plant for flower borders and shade planting. Here we begin to show you the caryxes, a group of shade-loving plants used for ground cover, which can easily grow in part sun providing there is sufficient moisture. This stiffly growing caryx is named Carex moraui variegata, or commonly known as the silver variegated Japanese sedge. This cold season plant is an evergreen grass. Attaining a height no greater than 18 inches and a 24-inch spread, this plant is praised for its fine silver delineation on the edge of its leaves, which makes it an excellent ground cover for coloration and massing, especially attractive when interspersed with ferns. Its cousin, Carex moraui ario variegata old gold, the variegated Japanese sedge. This cold season sedge, with the similar height of 18 inches and spread of 24 inches, will brighten up dark corners in landscape settings with its golden variegated leaves. It is a striking ground cover for any shade garden and is equally attractive as an edging plant. A native sedge grass of the Great Lakes region is the palm sedge grass, botanical name Carex muskingomensis. Growing 2 to 3 feet tall, this carex shows its beauty in mass effect. It is a very hardy sedge that grows best in moisture and almost swampy conditions. It will definitely grow in drier soil, however. Have patience, for it will take longer to reach its full maturity. A guest from New Zealand, Carex buchanani, the leather leaf sedge, has a truly leathery appearance with its charming rust-colored foliage. It can attain a height of 48 inches under ideal growing conditions, yet usually ranges from 12 to 24 inches tall with a 48-inch spread. This warm season sedge is durable, likes partial sun to shade, and is good for groupings. Concluding our carex representation with fetching gold leaves tinted with green variegation is Carex stricta bols golden, the yellow sedge. Perfect for brightening a dark corner, this plant grows 12 inches tall and is a cold season sedge. It is best used in mass as a ground cover in partial to total shade. This eye-catching rush is called Equisetum hyamale robustum, commonly known as the giant horsetail or the scouring rush. Growing 5 to 6 feet tall, this cold season rush is admired for its unique appearance as well as its valued durability. The giant horsetail has no great demand on its soil condition. It can be used for a wet border along the water's edge, a poor soiled border, and has tolerance to both sun and shade. Another grass which finds its feet comfortably in the water and on land is Glyceria maxima variegata, its common name being the manna grass. Grown in 8 to 12 inches of water or grown as a border perennial in normal garden soil, the height ranges from 2 to 3 feet tall. This grass prefers the sun and moist soil. Although slightly invasive, a trade-off most times for durability, the color of this exciting aquatic grass is pinkish-purple in springtime, turning golden and green striped in the summer. This warm season grass is not noted, however, for its winter qualities. Here we begin to show you our largest representation of grasses in the video, the crown jewels of the ornamental grass world, the Miscanthus family. These warm season grasses from Asia can range from 2 to 15 feet tall. Their popularity comes from their ideal use for specimen planting, screen planting, settings in park, large landscape projects, and small show gardens. Their inflorescences are valuable for cut flowers, and their foliage provides rich fall colors. Many named varieties of Miscanthus are available. This happens to be one of the best selections to date, Miscanthus sinensis silverfader, meaning silver feather, commonly known as Japanese silver grass. Growing 8 to 10 feet tall, this Miscanthus is an early bloomer producing silvery white flowers in August that are carried high above the foliage, adding extra beauty. Another great favorite, Miscanthus sinensis gracilimus, the maiden grass. Growing 5 to 8 feet tall, this plant is best known for its graceful, delicately structured leaves and strict upward growth. Blooming late in the season, flowers first appear in late October and November. Here we see one of the only Miscanthuses that are recommended for partial shade planting, Miscanthus sinensis variegatus, the variegated Japanese silver grass. This grass attains a height of only 4 to 6 feet and is not quite as full in the shade. An exciting addition to the Miscanthus varieties is Miscanthus sinensis strictus. Again, the word strictus telling us that this is a strict upward growing grass. Commonly called the porcupine grass, its upright growth habit and unique coloration make it a valuable addition as a specimen grass on the water's edge or in groups. Its horizontally banded leaves are most attractive and intriguing when seen against the setting sun. The porcupine grass attains a height of 6 to 8 feet tall. A medium-sized grass attaining a mature height of 4 to 5 feet, Miscanthus sinensis purpurascens, known as purpurascens Japanese silvergrass, blooms in August. By early September, a silvery pink tinted inflorescence appears, and by mid-fall, a purple-red foliage clearly distinguishes this plant from the rest. Even in wintertime, covered by snow and battered by frost, the color in the foliage and the culms remain intact. This is what is commonly known as the giant silver banner grass. Botanical name, Miscanthus sachariflorus robustus. Growing 5 to 8 feet tall, this grass is slightly invasive, therefore being a particularly suitable grass for the edges of ponds and streams and for mass planting in parks. This plant is viable in both normal soil conditions and temporary flooding. A new variety from Japan, the Miscanthus sinensis Yakuyama, a dwarf variety from the island of Yakuyama. This silver-tufted grass will only grow to 4 feet. Its foliage stays way down to the ground at a mature height of 18 inches. This is an excellent plant for a small garden, with flowers appearing in August and seed heads lasting throughout the winter season. Contrasting the short Yakuyama, we have the largest of all the Miscanthus, Miscanthus floridulus, synonym Miscanthus sinensis gigantus. The giant Chinese silvergrass, reaching heights of 12 to 15 feet in excellent growing conditions, this grass is perfect for large plantings, screen plantings, and massing. Pictured here, the miscanthus is a welcome change in scenery with its long, willowy blades. Here, a close-up of the Floridulus's inflorescence, certainly unique when compared to the pine cones on an evergreen tree. In winter, this grass turns into a golden-brown skeleton of the plant and gives us an architectural winter masterpiece with tall, upright golden stalks reaching high into the sky. Another giant of the grass world is Arundinodonax, the giant reed. Normally standing 10 to 12 feet tall, this grass can attain a maximum height of 20 feet in only one growing season under excellent conditions. Its blue foliage is topped out in fall by an 18-inch long, pinkish-purple plume lasting throughout wintertime. Because of the Arundinodonax's size, its use is limited. However, this warm-season grass is found excellent for screening and specimen planting. The Arundinodonax is not only unique for its size, but also for its use in creating the reeds of the woodwind instrument. Since antiquity, this plant has supplied us with the material needed to make these reeds. And yet another giant of the ornamental grasses is Erianthus ravenni, the Ravenna grass. This warm-season, sun-loving plant will reach 14 feet and have several dozen culms balancing on its delicate stalks. As you can see, Erianthus commands a large garden space. It is an excellent specimen plant and is also used widely in the northern region as a substitute for pampas grass. Its inflorescences appear in September and will last until late in the fall season. It makes a gorgeous cut flower. Only the heavy snows of winter will eventually break the culms. A native grass of our river edges is the variegated cordgrass, botanical name Spartina pectinata aureo marginata, meaning golden margin. This cold season grass grows 4 to 6 feet tall and is slightly invasive. Its soft foliage is topped out in the fall with a unique looking inflorescence. This grass is a good specimen, clump, massing, or water's edging plant. And last, we give you Cordaderia celoana Sunningdale silver. This is the true Argentinian pampas grass, displaying long, full, weedy white feather plumes that can turn a flower bed into an enchanted garden. This grass is only hardy in zones 8, 9, and 10. It makes a spectacular specimen grass. We hope you have enjoyed our choice selections from the ornamental grass world. Ornamental grasses are known for their year-round longevity and low maintenance. In order to achieve these attributes, you must simply remember these 4 terms: ordering, planting out, fertilizing, and cutting back. Your plantings will be the most successful if you make sure to order your plants at least 1 growing season old. Take the time to specify this requirement when you purchase your plants. We specified earlier whether plants were warm or cold season grasses. A warm season grass should only be planted out in the spring. A cold season grass can be planted during the spring or fall. A grass that has been container grown for 1 year can be planted as a cold season grass in the spring or in the fall. Normal fertilization practices and water doses are appropriate. Mulching should be done moderately, making sure not to cover any new shoots. After the plant's inflorescences have disappeared for the season, you will be left with dried flowers and seed heads. They can be left untouched, for they will give you a decorative dried arrangement until spring. Early spring is the best time to cut back or remove flower stalks and unsightly foliage. Using ordinary pruning shears, you may cut back foliage to your own discretion. Remember that grasses that become brown and dry are not dead, they are dormant. Ornamental grasses stand alone in their diverse habits, from exotic additions to the Japanese and rock gardens to classic beauty for home, park, zoo, and urban settings, giving instantaneous glamour as well as year-round aesthetic value. These grasses are a welcome addition for the most traditional to the most outrageous landscape planner.